Yo, what's up, Killer Knife fans? Today we have an Emerson CQC-7, and we're going to disassemble it. A couple of reasons. Number one, I want to see what's inside. Number two, I want to see if I can get the action better. The action's pretty sweet already, actually. But who knows? Maybe we can make it even smoother, make it even better. Let's look inside and let's see just what it looks like and if it needs some cleaning, and let's make it smooth rolling. All right, cool. So first of all, we have a number one Phillips head. This takes regular screwdriver bits. I don't have any flatheads that are this big in the house, so I'm just gonna use a number 8 spanner bit. It's bigger than what I got, so it'll work just fine. But 4 Phillips head number ones, I'm gonna take those out. And we'll find out just how easy this is to take apart, or if it's not easy to take apart. Looks like it's gonna be pretty simple. So Sunday now, busy morning. I was running around. We did some laundry, some grocery shopping, bought a bunch of food for the pets, got a mini schnauzer and 2 domestic short hair cats. So that's what I've been up to all morning. It's about 11 a.m. now, and here we are. We're gonna share the disassembly of this. Hopefully it goes really well. All right, let's see. That's loose, so it's not coming out, but we'll get it out. All right. So like I said, it's gonna be a number 8 spanner. That'll fit in here better than the thin flatheads I got. So I'll just use this. It's gonna work fine. Unless it breaks, then it won't work fine. It should be fine. Obviously, if you have a big fat flathead, use it. You don't have to use what I'm using. I'm just trying to get it apart. So cool. So these are titanium liners. It's very lightweight when you feel it. Feels nice. And that is the stop pin that just fell out of it. All right, so let's just remember this is the front, and the stop pin, we'll put it over here. And this is what I thought. It's not a phosphor bronze washers. I'm not entirely sure what this metal would be. Let's see if it'll focus for us. All right, I'm not really sure what that is. Some sort of stainless steel. I don't know, it feels super light. Maybe it's plastic even, I don't know. It's plastic. Teflon, thick Teflon. Usually Teflon washers are white, but in this case they're dark gray. Looks kind of like zirconium or something, but just flexible, thick Teflon washers. All right. Here's the other side, the lock side. We're not gonna even bother disassembling this. There's a lot of standoffs, 4 standoffs. It would be rather unnecessary to remove all of this. I keep a lanyard on here. I'm not really a lanyard guy, but I'm just kind of trying it out. I kind of like the idea of it. It's easy to grab it out, and with the Emerson wave, you know, saying this as politically correct as possible, it's defensively an advantage, because YouTube, I don't want YouTube to block me here. But we're just gonna wipe this up. So again, you can take some nice thick paper towel, and I got some Windex solution here, and we'll wipe this up. This looks like it's going to be a relatively easy, quick disassembly here. All right. And this is interesting. There are, it's kind of chamfered in the center here, which I haven't seen before. And this is what I really love about knives, is just how different all of them are made. And you can see the chamfer around the pivot area there, and there's also the chamfer on the other side. I couldn't tell you what that's for. Maybe it allows more more oil or grease or whatever you decide to put in there to kind of like get locked in there and keep it well lubricated. If I had to guess, that's what it's for, because the pivot is straight. So interesting design though, of course. It's funny, you know, like from the outside you look at knives and you say, well, that looks similar to another knife, or, you know, how different could it be? And then a lot of knives, you get them, you open them up, you look inside, you disassemble them, and you start to find out just how different they really are. And a lot of the machining or handwork that goes into it tends to vary a lot, which is cool. It's something I appreciate. I like to see the small and large differences between knife makers and how they do everything. All right, cool. So we're all cleaned up there. There we go. There's not much to clean up here. We'll give it use a Q-tip here in this case, clean it out a little bit. It's pretty clean. So no steel insert. It does look like a hardened stainless steel ball as the detent. And this knife has a great detent on it. Excellent action already as far as opening action goes. And you can see quite a bit of tolerance on the liner lock here. So good. I love this knife. I've been carrying it quite often. And you know, I don't carry one of my knives every day. You know, I like to switch it up, so. But this has definitely been in the rotation probably at least once or twice a week. This week I've had this in my pocket, I think, 3 days, so I think that says a lot. It's pretty trustworthy. And the Emerson Wave, particularly on this Emerson, and you know, because a lot of companies use it. I think ZT has borrowed it. Cold Steel uses it. There's other knives I'm sure I'm not thinking of that use it. This seems to be much better as far as, sometimes I take this out of my pocket, it's already open, and I'm like, wait, how did that happen? And it's just open. So the Wave really works super duper well. I'm just gonna rub the Teflon down. It's tough to tell if there's anything on it because of the dark gray color, but let's see. The knife's pretty clean, honestly. We'll see now. No, there's really nothing on there. I'm assuming this is Teflon. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's some kind of polymer or just plain plastic. I'm not sure. There's really no way to know. Just gonna assume it's Teflon washers though. Alright guys, very, very simple disassembly. Everything is cleaned up. And now we're just gonna pop it back together, 10 weight nano oil. And of course we'll put a little Loctite on our screws. Pop the washer on. A little oil on both sides. I like to be pretty generous with the oil. It'll come out anyways, so let's see exactly how much those chamfers will hold. All right, cool. There we go. And interesting cutout here. I'm not sure what that's for. We'll figure it out one day. I don't know. I can't tell you guys today what that's for. All right. Losing my mind. A little oil again. I have to believe those chamfers are to retain the oil around the pivot. This is a pretty smart idea. A little more nano oil. Put our liner back. All right. Interesting. All right. Our G10 handle. Put that back in place. And I'm just going to put the pivot screw in first. Seems like the smartest thing to do. We'll take it back out to put some Loctite on it, but I just want to hold all this stuff in place. Feels like the right thing to do. So I'm just going to do that for now. Like I said, guys, if you have a flathead, just use a big fat flathead. I just don't have one. All right. So this is kind of interesting. I think we have to kind of leave the blade in a slightly closed position to keep the lock bar down. So we're going to go with that ride. We're going to switch to our Phillips head. And we'll... Oh, you know what we forgot? We forgot to put the stop pin back in. That's why it's moving all over the place. All right, you got to put the stop pin back in. Let's take this back apart. All right. So guys, I'm not perfect, you know, making a small mistake there. Get the stop pin in there. That should help a little. Still doesn't help completely. Still got to leave it in the closed position a little bit here to maintain a little bit of leverage on the liner lock. All right. So there's nothing that really snaps in here. This does go over the pivot, but it's not snapping in place. Okay. So there's nothing to really hold this, if you guys can't tell. Which exactly why we're going to put this pivot screw. Now that I got it out again, we'll put the Loctite. Take a little Loctite. Blue Loctite. All right. So we can get this little bit of Loctite on there and get it in place. Drop it in there. I'm going to give this a little squeeze. All right. There we go. I'm just going to tighten it up while I get this done. And we can unscrew it after we're finished putting the rest of these screws in. All right. Back to the Phillips head. Put a little bit of Loctite on each of these screws here. Guys, you can opt to not put Loctite if that's what floats your boat. If you plan on taking your knife apart constantly, every week, you're doing a lot of dirty, grimy work, probably better just to not put Loctite on your screws. I just don't plan on taking this apart anytime soon unless I have to, which I doubt. So, all right. Now the disassembly of this was really, really smooth. Made a small mistake with the lock pin there, but we're back together. All right. Check it out. That's going to be really tight because I really tighten this down. Okay, super tight. Still works, but we can adjust that, and we're going to. All right. Now that was cool to look inside. That's one of my favorite things about disassembling knives, because a lot of times I don't have to take it apart. There's some blade play here. Tighten it back up a little bit more. Just keep checking for blade play, guys, up and down and side to side, and to make sure there's none. Yeah, there's like nothing there. Beautiful action, very smooth. Can't get it to pop open there. Always harder to do it on the camera. Interesting. Usually I can get that to happen, but it is nice and drop shutty. So a little bit of play, tighten it back up. Guys, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, comment. Most importantly, trying to talk with you guys. Let me know what you think. Was this helpful? Do you have a different way of doing it? Let me know. Have a killer afternoon. It's Killer Knives. Peace.